I would never think that something that's present in mom's milk would be able to save the United States Navy millions of dollars if it's correct.
Roughly 6,000 people work at Vanderbilt. Any one of them can change the world. I'm Jad Abumrad, new professor here at Vandy, and today I'm meeting
My name is Steve Townsend, and I'm a professor of chemistry at Vanderbilt University. I'm also a professor of pathology, microbiology, and immunology. I like culture. I'm maybe a closeted humanist. I drink molecules. A couple months ago, I ran my 10,000th chemical experiment in my life.
Wow.
I'm obsessive compulsive, so I know that.
Wait, you've been counting your experiments?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I come from a family of pseudo-chemists. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the head chef at Wessington Plantation. My great-great-great-great-grandmother did localized medicinal chemistry to make herbal remedies. So they don't have a PhD in chemistry, but I would say they know how to manipulate structure.
Wow, so it sounds like chemistry's in your blood.
I was curious. So my mom wanted to expose me to as much chemistry as possible early on in life, but there weren't a lot of books in the 80s about Black scientists. So by second, third, and fourth grade, I was the world's leading expert in Louis Pasteur.
Get out. How did breast milk become an interest?
The program really just started from a future dad just wondering about the food his kid was gonna eat. We're in New York, so we're walking through Harlem, and we quickly noticed they were advertising formula and infant food products to people of lower socioeconomic status, people who were wealthy, inundated with breastfeeding resources. So I took an interest at that point, and for me, I could really tease apart at the molecular level why is breast milk special and provide that information to everyone. So everything starts right here in the lab.
Can you walk me through the various elements of so you have the milk, you want to know what's inside it?
Yeah.
This is Sabrina Spicer. She's a grad student in Steve's lab.
So you start with a whole breast milk sample.
Spinning it does what exactly?
So I don't know if you've ever ridden the Superman ride at the fair.
Mm-hmm. That one.
So centrifugal force,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you do that, all the fat will come to the top. And so you just scoop it off, looks like butter. And then you do it again until you're left with the milk sugars.
Women can make anywhere between 25 and 200 sugars, and they all have a design purpose for the baby. So what if a researcher could say, here's a molecule that does something really dope, can we now apply that to a problem that has nothing to do with breastfeeding? But it turns out that we can.
He told us about a bunch of projects.
This was inspired by a former student in the lab who told me that every day on Earth, 1 million people contract an STI.
Sexually transmitted infections.
This compound is a steroid that has a sugar on it. So we thought, what if we could put in one molecule something that is a spermicide, but also could protect against STIs?
Here's another.
Bacteria, because they want to protect themselves, encase themselves in this gooey, nasty community that's called a biofilm. And we brush it off of our teeth every morning. We figured out that some of these sugars present in milk prevent biofilm formation.
What are we looking at?
So this is the biofilm, and then when we add in our sugars, they just are not able to perform this bacterial behavior.
A little bit of sugar from the breast milk made the bacteria vanish.
But this also grows on ships. And the reason that can be a problem is that these biofilms start to cause drag. So the boat can't move at its normal speed. What if we could then make some type of paint or type of additive to stop that from happening on a ship, right?
And finally, there was this project.
My mom is a breast cancer survivor. So she said, most people think that your hair falling out or your nails falling off is going to be the most devastating issues. She also had to have a double mastectomy. And to her, that wasn't even the biggest issue. It was the non-stop stomach sickness. She's like, if I could not have that happen, I could deal with every other side effect. Right, so what we decided to study was whether or not 2'-FL, this human milk sugar, which we know helps with stomach development, can we dose that alongside of chemotherapy and see if we prevent some of the side effects of the chemo just by having the cancer therapy with this milk sugar at the same time. Wow. So those are the connections that we're trying to make.
It's kind of beautiful that you are studying mother's milk in order to help your mom. It's kind of full circle.
Yeah.
I think what the really beautiful part about this project is, every time we give a presentation, you get to have this really cool moment where you acknowledge all the women who donated their breast milk. And, this little guy or girl is 9 years old.
In the context of the community, I feel obligated to make sure that we're doing science that they comprehend. And ultimately, if we're successful, it should be something that can help them.